Hey, 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 it's that time again. And I know what you're thinking. Where is April and who are these people? Well, I have a wonderful news for you today. She is in the background here somewhere. I tried to yell at her to get her to come in here, but she is in full blown Christmas and Thanksgiving mode. So I don't know if she's going to jump on here today, but she said it was okay if I went ahead and did the show without her. And guys, I have a special show today. I'm still at my home studio while Smith is making some much needed adjustments. He's adjusting on the fly today, and the studio is off to his. Smith is facing the east. If you guys are interested in geography, and to the northeast from Smith is the new studio, which is going to have some amazing equipment in it. I can't wait to share that with you, but it's taking a little more time than we thought. Now, today's show is Winning Together. Normally, that is April and me talking about how we win together. But today it is Smith, which is my producer, who is sitting in my chair with my headphones on. He's looking great. He's nervous. He didn't know he was going to have to do this. I put him on the spot just a few minutes ago, and he did a fantastic job. Now, today's guest at the bottom of the screen is Grant Golestan. Now, you're going to have to help me get that name right. Did I nail it pretty good, Grant?
Yeah, man. Perfect. Spot on.
Okay. So, Grant, I want you to let me tell you what I know about Grant. All of you guys who've been watching this show for a while understand that when someone tells me something, I make a decision. Do they know what they're talking about? Are they full of BS? So that's how I approach every situation when I'm dealing with people who are making, we'll say, claims to me, and you should be doing the same thing. When someone makes a claim, judge them. You need to judge them. Do they know what you have to make a decision. Do they know what they're talking about, or are they full of BS? And so when I found Grant, I loved what I saw on his LinkedIn profile. Grant had a lot of big claims. Now, Grant hasn't read the book yet, The Art of Text Message Selling, but he's going to get on that. And in that book, you'll find out that rule number one is make a big offer. Make a big, compelling offer. And I always say, Mr. Dealer, if half of what I'm telling you is true, then why would you not do business with me? So, Grant, would you like to tell my viewers, now we'll have over 1,000 viewers before this video is through running, and a lot of people watch. So would you please tell these people what the claims, what are the claims that you can do, and as far as marketing and LinkedIn and maybe even Instagram and social media, what is it that you do? And please make some very big claims here today.
Sure. Definitely, man. I appreciate you having me on, Billy. But so pretty much what I do and focus on is growing our clients through LinkedIn, and also a little bit of Instagram growth as well. So for instance, we're able to grow our clients, anywhere from like 5,000, 10,000 targeted followers per month on their LinkedIn profile. And we also help them out with generating leads from these followers, monetizing their audiences, helping their posts go more viral, get more eyeballs within the audiences that they want to get at. And I pretty much got this skill set from being on LinkedIn for around 4 years, and also doing a lot of Instagram marketing and growth. And I've been doing this stuff for a total of around 8 years so far. And we've grown probably a total of around anywhere from like 5 to 6 million followers so far for our clients over that time period. And, grew my page on my personal LinkedIn. I've grown, had probably around 150 million views in the past year on the content I put out. And I feel like we're kind of just getting started. And, we're working with Billy on his stuff now. And you guys will be able to see pretty much, what we're able to do live for, his LinkedIn page, his company page over the next few months or so.
Yeah, man. So thank you. I do appreciate what you're doing for me. And we have noticed an uptick already. But I want to pay close attention to these big claims. And I hope this helps Grant and by the way, Grant, this is definitely going to help your show. It's going to help your business rather. I have a lot of people who watch the show live that are fans, but we also have a lot of people who they'll troll us and and they will see what kind of information they can get, and then they try to duplicate that.
Yeah.
And a lot of my inner circle, they warn me against these things, but that's not how I roll, man. Here's how I roll. I know there's some people out there that are watching this that really want to support me, and then they need some help as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give them the golden goose. But I want to point out, guys, I've been saying big claim, big claim, big claim. You got to make big offers. You have to have compelling offers to get someone's attention. And I said it has to be irresistible. So yes. I was browsing around looking for some help on my LinkedIn. Now, we've had tremendous results. That's what you're watching us right now. Most probably you're watching us on Facebook right now, but I really know there's more opportunity on LinkedIn. We haven't just nailed it and locked it in. We've struggled to get the type of exposure and eyeballs that Grant's talking about. So I was looking around, and when I saw this guy said he could get from 5,000 to 10,000 page followers of real targeted people that I want, not robots, not people that are not going to benefit from seeing my content. I said, that's pretty cool. Now, Grant, I've been doing this a long time. I've had a lot of views. I don't think I've ever been viral. So tell me what the definition of viral is. And let me first say to the audience, when somebody tells me they can get me 5,000 to 10,000 followers and they can make me go viral, if one of those is true, I'm in. So tell me what viral means and how you've been able to unlock that mystery.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, so pretty much I would say viral really means, you wake up in the morning, you posted something yesterday or the day before, and you wake up and you see 100,000 extra views in a night, 200,000 extra views in a night. You just start seeing this exponential growth kicking off on the post that you put out that you weren't seeing before, right? And you're just like, okay, this is a lot different, because maybe before you were getting 1,000 views on a post, 10,000 views on a post, on the high end maybe like 50,000, and then this, you wake up one morning, you're having your coffee, and now you have an extra couple 100,000 views, 3,000, 4,000 new likes. And it's viral is definitely for me personally, that's how I consider it, getting a few 100,000 views up to a few million views. But everyone has different starting points, and for someone that's listening to the show right now, getting a few million views per post, they might think, okay, that's amazing, that's crazy, how could I ever imagine having that happen to me? And the thing is, everybody has a certain angle that they could present with on social media, and as long as they go hard in that angle, and that angle is very enticing to the audience for the content that they're putting out, they'll also be able to get views like that. And it's not like certain people are only able to get views like that, but for viral, to answer your question, definitely a couple 100,000 views to a few million views on a post. Definitely.
All right, wonderful. So, here's the biggest claim. First of all, you said 5,000 to 10,000 followers for a company like me, helping going viral. You also said that you have created for your clients 5 to 6 million followers. Now, that is a big claim. Grant, is it true?
It is.
I know it is, man. I would, by the way, I only have experts on the show, man. And I not just anybody can get on this show, because we've been tremendously successful. We have a wonderful reputation of actually moving the needle for our clients. There's no way I would bring someone on here that I wasn't 100% confident in and that I have not vetted yet. And by the way, guys, I've already paid Grant, so he's helping me, So this is a very legit expert we have on the show today. And I have seen the 5 to 6 million followers and on some of the pages that he has done work on. Let's see here. I was taking notes here. What was the last thing? There's something else about million. Oh, views. You've had 150 million views. 150 million views.
Yeah, so it didn't start out like that. I was posting and on LinkedIn, I was trying to, kind of figure out what's the best way to get a post to go viral. And throughout that time, I was getting maybe 10,000 views, 20, 30,000. And then over the past year, things really picked up a lot. And I've had around 150 million so far over the past 12 months. And the goal is, my goal, I don't like have a specific number in mind, but 150 million, I'm completely cool with that, for LinkedIn as a platform. And if we could get it higher to maybe 200, 300 million, that would be amazing, because there's around 500 million, monthly active users on LinkedIn. So if we're able to hit all of those users and have an impact on all of them, then, that would be a huge accomplishment, and definitely the goal.
So how many users are on LinkedIn?
500 million. So 500 million monthly active ones.
I'm taking notes. Smith, now you do your videos and your music. Do you use YouTube primarily, Instagram? Where do you do most of your videos?
Primarily YouTube. Usually if I go to Instagram, at least in the past, I've used it to, get a 1-minute clip, try to feed people back into YouTube.
Okay.
I don't know if IGTV even existed back when I started. I didn't realize that was a thing until I started working here, to be honest.
I gotcha. Smith, how many views? Do you know how many views you've had on your videos? Have you had some big particular videos that went viral?
The biggest current one, I think I have around 11,000 views. It's just like a relaxing D minor ambience type track. And I mean,
right.
I guess that has a lot to do with how useful that is for people.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, that's actually really good. We're talking about YouTube right now, not LinkedIn, but YouTube, I'm sure Grant has a lot of opinions and specialized knowledge about YouTube as well. But the reason I bring up YouTube is we broadcast live on YouTube. We have all our content on YouTube. Any of our close followers or our biggest fans that want to go on there and see all the stuff, we have it cataloged, but we have very, very few views on there. Facebook, I guess we've gone really hard, like you said, Grant, on Facebook. We went hard and we found our audience, and I know how to build an audience on Facebook. I create and I provide useful information. Yeah, like what we're doing today. So I've been banging on Facebook for 10 years now. So I'm not saying I've got.
If I ever need help with Facebook, you would be the person I go to, man. You completely kill it on it, and you make it look easy, which is crazy. Yeah. And I know for a fact, that developing that skill set, while it might not be easy, it's definitely worth it. Owning a social media platform is so worth it. Yeah. It's amazing.
So do you have any idea why we can't gain any traction on YouTube? Is it something to do with the algorithms, or what do you think?
I mean, so honestly, I would say it's probably just because you guys aren't probably getting into the algorithm. Definitely, because if you're in it and you're getting recommended to people, you're going to start getting more and more views. But for instance, my cousin, right? He wanted to grow his YouTube channel, and he spent, I think, around 6,000 on YouTube ads to just grow his subscribers, and he got 3,000 from it. And content was really good in my opinion. And I was like, 6,000 for 3,000 followers. I'm like, it didn't really add up much. And that's when I realized YouTube is a really long game. And there's guys that have been grinding for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years on YouTube, and they're now just getting recognized, and now they're just getting rewarded for that work. So it's really, I think it's good to keep posting on it, because you want to keep planting those seeds, but it definitely, I think it takes a little bit longer than the other platforms.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been on there for a while, but I haven't gotten in the algorithm. So Smith, do you have any, I want to show the audience that we know what we're talking about here. Do you have a link that you could show one of the posts that Grant has made successful on LinkedIn?
Yes, sir. When we were sent earlier, and he has 2,997 comments, 85,087 reactions.
Wow, 85,000 reactions.
That one's from I got another one actually up here. I think it did a little bit better.
Scroll up.
This one's a different. This one's a more recent one.
Okay.
This one got around 1.8 million views. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So if you'll put that in the chat, we'll put it on the screen right there so everyone can see it. And but Smith, tell me again the numbers there. You said there were.
That one was 85,000 reactions. I'd have to go back.
The most I've had is 50 on LinkedIn.
Right. and that one had 3,000 comments right at. So the one he just sent me has 42,000 reactions and 1,752 comments with 1.7 million views.
Wow, 1.7 million views. So I'm gonna make a big claim, Grant. I will definitely be your biggest client if you get me 1 million views, because I know that my content is useful to car dealers. So if you'll help me get that, I'll be your #1 client. And I may even I'll find out a way to make you exclusively on this team.
No, definitely. But no, it's crazy because LinkedIn I would never think that would be the platform I would want to be going viral on, you know, and it is the number. For me personally, it's it's one of the main platforms I focus on. It's really, really important because especially if you're working with people that are in, you know, like the B2B niche, for instance, or like, for instance, car dealers, you know, these guys are on LinkedIn. It's very easy to find them, reach out to them, even if you don't, you know, have millions of views. Don't like let that kind of stop you, you know, and just reach out to these people, you know, shoot them a message, add some value, provide some value to them. And they'll
absolutely. So to that point, Grant, you know, I'll have some we put our videos on my personal page, and now we're putting them on the business page so that you can get us some attention and get some eyeballs on there. But many times I've had a post that will have 70 views, and I'll sell 2 or 3 events off of it. So I can't wait until those numbers go up, because I've been telling Smith for a long time, and all of my sales team, I said, guys, LinkedIn is where it's at. That's the most potential. We just have to crack the code.
It really is. And I feel like it's still early on it, you know, because it kind of feels like to me like what Instagram felt like in like 2013, 2012, like around there. It's still a bit early, even though LinkedIn's been around for a while. More and more people are adding on to the platform each month. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I think 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I was going big on Facebook before anyone else was. And now everybody's on Facebook with me, you know, with the ads. And now there's there's probably a couple dozen lookalike companies that do exactly what I do. I was the first one in the space, and we're still the biggest. You can see the call center behind us. I mean, we go at it first class. We don't half step anything. So we're going to bring the best product to make sure we stay ahead of the competition. But also on LinkedIn, I know that we're the first in that space to really use it as a way to reach people and to provide value. I want to speak to that providing value real quick. Here's how I've dominated, or how I've grown so big on Facebook. I try to make sure that 75% of the content that we put out there is adding value, solving a problem, and giving away useful information to people who can actually use it. I think that will keep people coming back to get more information and to visit us. And then I allow my sales staff and myself to promote ourselves 25% of the time. You know, goodwill 75, promotion 25. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it, man. Honestly, I think that's a good structure to follow, because I feel like people either don't produce enough content in regards to, you know, what their service or product is, or I feel like people promote it, you know, way too much, for instance. So I feel like there's a good balance in between, you know, providing that free sort of value to the audience. What I really believe in is exactly what you're saying. And I think of it as educating the audience, giving them free education to make the right decisions in life. Because at the end of the day, for instance, working with Billy is a right decision. And he's putting out his time, you know, to get free stuff across to you guys, free value. And really what this should be, you know, doing to you guys is making you realize that Billy is the guy to go with. He really is. He's the real deal. But besides that, for content, I completely believe in, you know, providing that free value. And I think that's a good structure for like the percentages on that for, you know, people to follow. Because if you promote too much, you know, of your product and there's no promotion of, you know, free stuff to the audience, just value to them. Not saying that the product isn't value, because it is. But if you're not giving out that free content to them, you're just not going to really have you're not going to have a strong trust, you know, with the audience. The audience is going to trust you as much, and you're just not going to sell as much. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned sales because I've had a tremendous amount of success training dealers, training salespeople, training sales managers, and the best advice that I can give all of them is to look and sound and be an expert. Do not look or sound like a salesperson. If you can, if you can be known as the guy who can solve the most problems, selling will be easier. So
I agree.
do you run across people? I know you see people that get it wrong. I mean, are there times when you see somebody and you're just like, man, you're a cheesy salesperson. I know this is
man. You hear it all the time, and it's sad because you're like, wow, like maybe at one point you were interested in buying it and then they just ruined the sale because they just didn't carry that energy. They didn't have that confidence in them, as they were doing it. And you're just like, man, I guess I'm not buying today. And I think, honestly, besides marketing and advertising and all this stuff's cool on social media. The number one skill to really have is sales at the end of the day. It's the only skill that will be recession-proof. It's recession-proof completely. It'll get you out of any situation. And it'll allow you to scale up as things grow more and more. And, if you're growing a business, it'll allow you to, be the right leader for your employees and all that stuff. And I'm a huge, huge believer in honing on your sales skills. Definitely.
So we train every day. We have training, the modules that we have to hit every single week, or, they're taken off of the work schedule. So we're big on training. We're big on sales. And I do want to talk to you, Smith. Don't let me forget. I want to talk about the business cycle, and get Grant to weigh in on that. But first I want to talk about, how you do, not necessarily how you do it. I want to talk about one of the things you do. I think you mentioned to me that you'll be able to send messages out to people from me, from my personal page, from the business page.
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm on there, one thing, and you will find out, you probably already have noticed, I'm a delegator. I'll turn things over to somebody else and let them, and I will get out of their way. So I like to hire the best people that can do it and then get out of their way. So but when we talked first, I mentioned to you the one part that I want to help you with is the I say ad copy, or the messages, like the content of the messages. We'll call it ad copy. Because I get bombarded with so many messages of people trying to sell me, and there's the first thing they do, Grant, is just tell me how awesome they are. You know what I'm saying? And like give me
completely.
Give me information that I'm not looking for. So,
no, 100%, man. I mean, for the messages, because like for the intro message, that's the main thing, is to get them to accept that connection request. And honestly, I find the best method for it, really just like, let's say they posted this person they were trying to connect with, they posted something a week ago or a few days ago. Sending them a connection request and adding into that, hey, Billy, just want to let you know, loved your most recent post. Would love to connect. Something like that is the methods I like to use. Those are the types of things, because that flows. That's human. And people like to be knowing that they're working with a human and they're not getting some robot message from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, absolutely. People care about themselves. They, you know what I'm saying? They're not looking. They're not on LinkedIn looking to buy something. They're on LinkedIn looking for information, looking for a connection that may help them. So, that message needs to be about them, and you don't need to try to set an appointment for a phone call with the first message you send to somebody.
That's like, it's just like, dating. You don't want to marry the woman the first night. Or you want to take things slow a bit. You want to just like enter slowly with these things, and you don't want to rush it, because then it'll probably make it, messed up and ruin it.
Yeah.
And, like sending a message like that, very casual, and then sending a follow-up message after that, after they respond, don't just like, let's say someone, like you send a connection request or they accept it and they, you're like, okay, awesome. Let me bombard them now with messages. Don't do that. Don't go out sending them like 10 messages straight off in a row, because they'll remove you. But
you don't want to offer your service to these people that just met you. Hey, let's jump on a 30-minute phone call and let me see how I can help your business. I'm not looking for you help my business.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You have to first develop that friendship with them, and you got to first develop that friendship, find the points of interest that you guys have and really lean on them, and, try and just converse with the person over like a few days to a week or two. And then after that, you should then be at some point asked what you do, because everybody likes to, be asked, what they do, because then it gives them an opportunity to, sell and all that stuff. So at some point you'll be asked what you do, and you'll be able to, kind of hone in on that and, get on a call with them.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So next we're going to talk about the business cycle, but I think we've been about 25, 26 minutes of providing good content. So now I would just like to remind people that we do have the most effective product in the entire car business. We're always bringing you good information that's going to help you. So it would be a great idea for you to jump over to billymerritt.com and check out what it is that we do for car dealers. Now, Smith, do we have the store up on billymerritt.com?
Let me check. I know Joey was adding.
Maybe he does.
Joey was adding it yesterday.
I know they're still making adjustments, so it may not be. But if it is up and you can roll over there and click on it, let's share that on the screen real quick, because I want to show some cool things on there that people may be very interested in. And it's actually,
check it out.
Hey, watch out now. That's billymerritt.com/shop, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So here's what I want to do, Smith. We'll figure out how to make this work. But if you see that book right there, The Art of Text Message Selling, I'm going to do this. What's the price on it, bud?
$9.95.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll do just from now to the first of the year, we need to get a code on there. And anybody that uses the code, Buyback Billy, we're going to sell them one book and give them 2 books free. So, because most, you don't want to just read this book for yourself. You want your salespeople reading this book. You want your managers, and you definitely want your BDC reading this book. So let's figure out a code. And as a matter of fact, if somebody just wants to send me a personal message on my Facebook account messenger right here, I'll make sure that we'll ship them out and personalize the books for you and send them straight to you. You buy 1 book, you get 2 free. So Grant, we've given some good information. Now I want to talk about a couple things. You said sales. We've been studying sales, and I have an amazing sales team. We really have the best business-to-business sales team in the car business. My guys they're powerhouses. So
I know, man.
What we've learned recently, though, and that's another reason that I'm reaching out to you and that I want you to help me, is when now that we have our sales skills, and we will not stop training on getting better at sales, but when you're a top producing salesperson with top sales skills, we found Joey Arbison. He's working on the code now. He's one of my top salespeople. He's actually the vice president of sales and marketing. He's already working on the code for us for the buy 1 get 2 free. But Joey and I have developed a new process where we focus 90% of our effort, time, and money on marketing and awareness and advertising. And then that creates leads for us. We have a lead funnel. We're able to get those into our system where we can work those leads. And basically those sales or that marketing just turns into work orders, and we're not having to, hard close somebody. We don't have to convince anybody. We just simply put enough focus on marketing and advertising and LinkedIn, which is why I'm paying you, so we can just get those leads coming into the funnel, and we just have to write the orders. Have you had any?
Because it does the work for you. And, I love it because, like with these social media ads and, the marketing on it, you're able to, get these people pre-sold. Then that's exactly what you're doing. You're getting them pre-sold. You're already getting them interested before you're even talking with them. And then, this is probably new to like people that haven't experienced that, because the feeling is it's like, okay, that's it. All right, that's all you wanted to ask. It's very short, and the people are just right away, for these people that are specifically interested in buying, they already want to give you the money, and they just want to you want to make it as frictionless as possible for them to get access to you, to be able to get on a call or whatever it is to purchase your products. And you really have to be running stuff 24/7, getting in front of your ideal audience's faces, your prospects' faces. Because if it's not going to be you, someone else will come in and fill that gap for you and, take that market share from you. So it's up to you to be the one to be in front of those people. It's either you or it's going to be someone else, because someone else will come out with something similar to what you're doing, and they will try and take those people from you, those clients.
Yeah. So you have to know that they're coming, and you have to outwork them and out execute them. That's
you really
for sure.
do. You really do, man.
You said 24/7. That just gives me goosebumps, man. Let me tell you why. Back when I was writing the book, The Art of Text Message Selling, I did not have the resources that I have now. And everything that I sold was a result of me getting on the phone with someone and closing a deal, or either getting face to face.
Yeah.
But when I started writing The Art of Text Message Selling, I needed some help. I couldn't write the entire book by myself, and I needed an editor. So I thought it was really cool that the editor stayed up late at night while I was sleeping, and she was working for me, right? You know what I'm saying? So while I was sleeping, she was actually doing something that was going to end up, that was adding value to my life and even to my net worth before it even showed up on a financial statement.
I love it.
And now we have salespeople across the country. I have a super sales team out in Texas. Sarah Stalker, who said superstar, I think she was referring to the number of likes and the amount of action you had on your post there. Sarah's out in Colorado. She's my ads manager. She's my ads and performance manager. She is also the vice president of DigiNinja, and she's in Colorado. So while I'm working at 5 a.m. East Coast, she's sleeping, but I'm still adding value to her life. And then when, at midnight, when I go to bed, she's still up working out there. And now you guys, what time do you work to on the West Coast out there in California?
Man, and sometimes up until like 4 a.m. Usually though, probably around like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So that is early morning for us here on the East Coast. So, I mean, we have somebody working on our imaging, our branding, our sales 24/7. It gives me chills. And
man, I love it because that's how it is, and that's how it should be. And after it's 24 hours, now it's just compounding everything more and trying to make it so that 2 days of work, 3 days of work are happening in one day. And that's what you're doing, Billy. It's absolutely amazing. And I feel like for the audience, for instance, they might be like, I can't work 24 hours in a day. And I mean, logically that makes sense. Physically, you're not going to be able to do that. But the thing is, you want to get things set up and, have things delegated to either, software or, online ads or humans to get that 24/7 workflow in place. That way, you're constantly out there.
Yeah. So another comment that we have right there, Smith put up Carson Henry's comment right there. He said he's taking notes. Now, Carson is down in Florida. He's got a tremendous product as well. It's called Rabbit. He does some amazing, super smart things that we don't do. He's helped us with some things as well. But Carson and I were talking the other day about ads, and I want to see if you feel the same way that we do. And that is, an ad is not an expense. It's an investment. So if I can give you $3,000, Grant, and as a result of that, I get back anything over $3,000, then that's a positive investment. Now, naturally, you want your ROI to be higher than somewhere else you could put your money. But when we're talking about ads, when we're doing Facebook ads, for instance, we'll start with 10 ads many times. The 2 least performing, we'll go ahead and cut those out of the way. And then the ones who are giving us 80% of the effectiveness, we'll double down on those and just keep pouring as much money as we can in there. The ads is the one thing you do not want to skimp on. That's the one thing you need to be seeing. Just how much can I spend on this?
100%. I'm looking for new ways, always trying to increase my ad spend, and you don't want to get limited in that, because the thing is, that's when it comes down to like expanding to other platforms, because after you dominate one platform, for instance, then you're probably going to want to move over to another one and get it seen by all those people on that platform too, your target audience, all that stuff. And no, I completely agree with you that advertising, online ads, really any form, it is such an important lifeblood for your business, because relying on referrals and word of mouth, for instance, I know a lot of people do that, and it works. And I did it at one point, And it's great, you know, like the people are already interested in buying from you from that referral, and they have a lot of trust for you already, which is great. But the thing is, you can multiply those efforts with online ads. And the thing about referrals and word of mouth, it's not as predictable. It's really not that predictable. You know, you might get one person this week. Are you going to get someone to refer you the next week too? Maybe not. I don't know. You know, but with online ads, you're able to then at some point, as things are running, figure out how much you're paying per lead. And then that becomes very predictable. How much you're paying per website click, what's your conversion rates on that? And then you're able to go to sleep at night knowing, okay, if I spend this much in the morning, by the time I get up, I'm going to have, you know, 3 calls, 4 calls, 5 calls booked. And then you wake up and it happens and you're like, wow, okay. And no, I completely agree with you that it's such a good investment. Online ads, if they're getting an ROI, I would never kill it.
Yeah. Smith there, he said so many things right there. You may want to use that somewhere around minute 33 or 34 to find you a good clip. And I know you're already taking notes there. So what we do with these clips, Grant, is we'll do we might do a 40-minute show today, a 60-minute show. We're just whatever. We're not going to sit on here and, look for things to talk about. But when we feel like we've added enough value, or you may have a call actually coming up. So, but we take it and we break it down into small clips. And then we put it on as many platforms as we can. And our goal is total omnipresence. Is that something that you deal with?
Yeah, man, of course. That makes me super happy to hear that word omnipresence, because it's so powerful to have the audience feel as though you're everywhere, and to kind of feel like you're, always giving value to them and you're just not stopping, because there's some guys out there that I look up to on social media that, like, in the terms of their strategies, and they do omnipresence to a T. That's all they focus on, really, is that omnipresence, pushing out that content. Let's say they're putting out 5 posts on Instagram a day, and then they have, 6 posts on YouTube in a day. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how are these guys doing this? I'm like, this is insane, And I look at your stuff, Billy. I'm like, how are you getting out all of this content? It's crazy, because I'm like, man, that takes a lot of energy, but it pays off and it works and it's worth it,
Well, I have a full-time content producer, and he's smiling right now because you're talking about all the things that he's responsible for every day. And I would like to say that, most of the time Smith is behind the scenes, but boy, I lean on him hard and he does a great job. So Smith, the fact that you have Grant speaking up and saying, yeah, hey, how does he do it? You're the way we do it. So we appreciate that, bud.
Thank you.
Love it. No, it's important.
So another thing that we're toying with, and we're not toying with at all. We have we get attention. This is the way we do it. We want to get attention, provide good content, create a lead, and then we'll close that lead. Now, we still do this through our product, DigiNinja. When some of the messages come into my business page, my website, my chat, my LinkedIn, not LinkedIn yet. We haven't found a way to connect that properly. But from many of the sites that we're on, those leads funnel into our DigiNinja platform, where we have live salespeople talking to those people in real time, and they're very, very skilled in the art of text message selling. So we consider a direct message a text message. Yeah. And then we close that deal. We do not have any particular, or maybe not any particularly effective click funnels. Do you deal with any click funnels? Do you like them? Do you think there's a better way?
Honestly, I'm not really a believer in click funnels. I know a lot of people like them. I kind of think that their stuff looks scammy, like the way that, the build out. I think that it doesn't, those types of funnels don't really work that well anymore. I think they've been saturated a lot. Yeah. And I just personally, like, if I put my face in front of a click funnel, like, I wouldn't feel that comfortable personally. Right. I just don't like it that much.
Yeah. To me, it feels, I can see the bait, and I know it's bait. And I'm like, man, you have some great content, because I know some super successful people that are brilliant. Yeah. That they use click funnels. I'm like, man, you're better than this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's such an easy thing to use. And I think that people kind of get stuck using it. Maybe they're like, okay, I built all this stuff on it. I'm thankful that I never used it, because like I was looking at it and I tested a few of the, the funnels that you could build on it. Tried my best. Maybe I just suck at ClickFunnels, but I just think that it didn't perform well. And I think that it's because it looks very spammy. I'm not going to say spammy, but it looks very spammy. It looks very, all right, here, enter this and we're going to, persuade you to buy something randomly. That's what it kind of feels like and looks to me,
Right.
I'm a believer in like for instance, for like generating phone calls, like let's say you wanted to send someone like a form. Honestly, like me, I just use Calendly, and I just get people sent to a Calendly link, and they're able to pick a time that they want, the day, put in their info on it, all that stuff, and it's super simple, seamless, and it has a very modern look to it, and I like that. It doesn't look like ClickFunnels, and it works really well. I've generated over, like on LinkedIn, over the past 8 months, around 1,300 leads so far from those strategies, using like Calendly, for instance, instead of sending them to ClickFunnels or somewhere else, and it's worked well.
So you've had 1,300 leads. How many actually converted to an actual demo or a phone call with you?
Each one of those are demos, all calls booked.
Wow. So you've done 1,300 demos this year?
Yeah. 1,300 demos so far, man.
How many clients are you currently with you?
Currently working with 25, and I like to keep it anywhere from 25 to 30. Like, I don't really want to go above that.
Yeah.
But what I do with a lot of these phone calls, because I have more calls than I have the ability to have clients, what I do a lot is, for instance, I'll sell, Instagram growth, and then I'll send that over to one of my buddies that I've worked with a lot, and then I'll just take a referral commission on that each month. And then I'll send, for instance, another person to my guy, like Nick Cosman, or this guy Alex Becker, for instance, and then set up like a referral structure with this where I'll just get paid on it, on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm. So, couple things. So, you probably are aware of this, but I'm going to articulate exactly what you're doing, maybe in a more detailed way than you're aware of, or you may be aware of it. But here's what we do, and you're doing very well. So, you're using a funnel. By the way, I use that funnel. I clicked on it to set up a call with you. It wasn't, it wasn't clickbait. It was an actual, hey, if you want to talk to Grant, then click here. And I clicked there. We set it up, and we actually jumped on the call. Now I've experienced calendars and different things like that didn't work in the past. What I mean by they didn't work is the person wasn't dialed into the process. Like, I booked things through that before, and then the person who was supposed to be there didn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I sent you a connection, I'm like, hey, we got a call in 30 minutes or whatever. But so your sales process looks like this. Get on a phone call with you or a Zoom, get on a meeting, see what it is you do, no pressure whatsoever. You show the value, and then that person that's on the call with you says, hey, I want this. Is that the way you're saying?
Exactly. That's really it, because mainly I use the calls to answer the questions that the people might have, that the prospect might have, or the person I want to work with might have. I really just use it to answer their questions and really kind of just like set the tone for if we work together, what things would be like, all that stuff, show them some case studies for the clients that we're working with. I keep it very, low pressure. And I keep it very, based on, what does this person want to talk about on this call, because either way, let's say they become a client or not, we'll just kind of see if we could provide some value, give them like, 1 or 2 tips on something. And, that's really it. I just keep it very low pressure and kind of just, I enter each call pretty much with no expectation,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I love it, man. I love it. I think you could probably enter the phone call with the expectation that you're going to get a client, because if you want that client, because the value's there. So our sales process looks like this. We want to get somebody on a Zoom call and show them, or actually, man, I don't even take the time to do a Zoom call anymore. If I just get them on the phone, I'm like, look, here's what we do. Here's the numbers. If you're a car dealer, you need to do this. And so I'm able to do that. It's kind of like, have you heard enough to make a decision yet? Okay, then I'll stop my pitch, 100%. But anyway, so I'm a fan of funnels.
Yeah.
Click funnels. So, you know, what I do on Facebook and the different sites is I have those leads, those conversations, those messages funneled into our inbox in one place inside DigiNinja, and we work those leads there. I want to do that with LinkedIn because, man, if I can have 1/10 of the success, and I think it'll be more. I think it'll be more than 100%. But if I can have 1/10 of the success of the conversion of people who see my content that want to get on a call with me, we're going to smash it, Grant.
Man, 100%. That's the goal here. Yeah. That's really the goal here. My goal, you know, with you, Billy, on LinkedIn is to really position you as the top authority within your field, A, and then B, just really get you in front of the prospects, the audience that you guys want to go after the most as much as possible. You know, because like for you guys, there isn't many people that are like within the space that are doing LinkedIn correctly. Because a lot of people, they don't like, they might be on LinkedIn, but they're not really on LinkedIn. If you know what I mean, they're not really pushing LinkedIn. They're on it, but they're not.
Yeah. Yes. Man, absolutely. I mean, I'm ready to get started right now, which we are started already. But so you mentioned top authority, and again, I'll say this: I have a very narrow area of expertise, but I'm the top authority when it comes to doing Facebook events to provide car dealers.
You've done some amazing Facebook events. It's actually,
I am, and I am an expert at that. And Smith is an expert in that as well. You know, just from hanging around and being up there. And he was a ninja. He used to answer those leads, and he used the art of text message selling to actually to set appointments. And then I found out he had some production skills. So that's what he's helping us with now. There was something I wanted to ask you about Smith. I need a teleprompter because I kind of lose. I get going down one rabbit hole and I lose it, but maybe it'll come to me. Oh, Smith, if you will, take over the screen and you take over the microphone and tell people about the 3-for-1 offer and what Joey's done for us with the code.
So the 3-for-1 offer, you can simply go to billymerritt.com and go to our shop, or you can go to billymerritt.com/shop. And if you put 3 copies of The Art of Text Message Selling right over here, put 3 in your cart per quantity, add to cart, and then enter the code buybackbilly, all one word, full caps. You'll get 2 of those absolutely free. It's already live.
Awesome,
man. If I was in the audience, I'd be picking up 6.
I tell you what, man, one thing that we found out that's really helpful is, getting this book in the hands of people. I've got dealers all over the country. We're in 49 states, and it really works. And I'm passionate about it, Grant, because I want to get my stuff out there and help these dealers. I know that we have already changed the car business, the way people buy cars. You know, you may or may not know this about the car business, but the old school car guys, they don't want to give information over the phone or through text message. We just took that model and broke it in half and said, look, we're going to give you all the information up front from a distance, no pressure. And, it's just really worked extremely well for us and our dealers. So that's my goal. And my goal is to get you to help me do the same thing on LinkedIn. I'm confident. As a matter of fact, I know what I was going to say now, Grant. I got sidetracked with wanting Smith to do a promo there. But, a lot of people are on LinkedIn and they're on there and they're trying, but here's number one, they're not the authority. And number 2, they are not as crazy as I am, because I will spend $100,000 a month with you, Grant, if we see a positive return. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man. 100%. No, and I feel the same exact way, man. I feel like it's good to, because like for everybody, that is interested in like doing stuff on LinkedIn and all this stuff, I think it's best to kind of, test first. And then once proof of concept is there, then scale as hard as you can, as hard as you can. Because once that's done, the goal is really to saturate the audience as quickly as possible. Because at that point, it's like, okay, I could get X results in 6 months, or I could do it in 2 months, 3 months. And then the 6-month goals will be much bigger, because you could shorten the curve of how long it takes to get to a certain revenue goal with paid ads. you know, you could, if you have these things dialed in, you really have a faucet that can produce money whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
How great is that, Smith? We're going to have a faucet. Just, you know, those guys bring checks. They bring checks to the dealers have to send us a check usually, and the FedEx guy will show up, and sometimes we'll grab them and put them on the show and talk about it. What if we just have it lined up, people bringing us checks, Smith, because of LinkedIn?
That sounds great. And I'm going to take it all and use it on my own stuff too.
Before you go, Grant, tell us where you're from and what's going on out there in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, man. So I'm in LA. I was born and raised though in Orange County, around like the Laguna Beach area. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man. I mean, right now I've just been working a lot. You know, just been staying inside working. I had COVID, you know, a little bit ago, and fully recovered now. But yeah, man, I'm just chilling, working, going to the gym and stuff. But here in LA, man, it's pretty dead. You know, like pretty dead compared to, you know, what it used to be like. All the restaurants are kind of shut down and all that stuff. And
you're in West Hollywood?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you have any movie star friends?
No, man. No, man. I honestly, like, really, I just kind of hang out with like my girlfriend and then also my cousin. My cousin is like my best friend. His name's Simon, and we kind of see each other like almost every day. And he's in the same field as me, marketing, advertising, and we have like the most amount of things similar that we're interested about, you know? So I just kind of stick with him and a few other buddies that I have, and kind of keep the circle small, you know?
Well, man, I'm glad you're in my circle. I consider you already a very good friend, and we're going to fly out there and see you really soon. And we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate who you are and what you do. We're going to put you to the test. I'm more than confident than I'm going to get more bang, or I'm going to get more money in return that I'm giving you. And I can't wait to see the results. We appreciate you being on the show, and I'm sure we're going to have you come back in a few months to talk about the progress that we've had.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And I appreciate you, Billy. Thank you, Smith. And, you know, love what you guys are doing. I love how you guys are, you know, helping everybody out and, you know, giving all these tips out. And yeah, guys, I would grab, instead of grabbing 3 of the books, I would grab 6 of them. Quite honestly.
Thanks, buddy.
Talk to your friends and family, honestly.
I appreciate that, bud. And Smith, thank you for another great show. This has been a good one, man. I've really enjoyed it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Tomorrow we'll be back with the DigiNinja Dealer Academy.
Awesome.